Hello drama lovers, welcome back to the K-pop World Channel. There are nights we never want to remember, but precisely because they hurt so much, those nights become impossible to forget. A hospital hallway, dim lights reflecting on a cold, silent floor. No sounds, except the faint beeping of a heart monitor echoing from the far end of the corridor. And on a hard wooden bench just outside the ICU, a man sat in silence. His head hung low, his left hand cradling his forehead, his body trembling faintly, as if he were carrying a world collapsing inside him. That man was Xiao Zhan, and behind the tightly closed door, another man was fighting for his life, battling a pain invisible to the world. Wang Yibo, an idol known for his calm, unwavering persona, was clinging to a machine that refused to stop. His heartbeat had weakened. His life nearly slipped away, and time became the enemy no one could outrun. That night, time stood still, and all that remained was fear. The fear of loss, the unbearable silence, and a medical secret that would later come to light. This story isn't just about a celebrity's health. It's about human limits, about the strength of a bond, and how a single moment can shatter someone who always seemed unbreakable. Let's go back to the very beginning. The day had started like any other. Wang Yibo was in the midst of preparing for a new project, his schedule packed, his focus unwavering. Everyone thought he was fine, but his body had been signaling distress for quite some time. Months of accumulated exhaustion, relentless pressure, and the constant demand for perfection had slowly been eating away at him. His manager and team noticed something off when Yibo lost his balance while entering the rehearsal room. They brushed it off at first, maybe just dizziness. But when he didn't respond to repeated calls, panic set in. In minutes, an emergency vehicle was summoned. Yibo was unresponsive, and from that point, everything changed. Xiao Zhan received a phone call around 1 a.m. He was on set, filming at a location far from the city. Without hesitation, he dropped everything, jumped in his car, and raced to the hospital. That night's drive was silent, but his mind was in chaos. Nothing could have prepared him for the news that someone so close to him was now fighting for his life. Especially when the first words out of the doctor's mouth were, "We almost lost him." Wang Yibo's heartbeat had dropped dramatically inside the ambulance. The monitor showed numbers falling dangerously low. The attending physician later admitted that if they'd been 5 minutes later, things could have ended right there. When Xiao Zhan arrived, he didn't rush in. He stood outside the ICU, eyes downcast, fists clenched at his sides. Witnesses said he stood motionless for 10 minutes before finally sinking into a chair and crying, silently. Not sobbing, not loud, just utterly silent. When the doctor briefed him on Yibo's condition, Xiao Zhan didn't say a word. He stared at the medical report handed to him. It revealed that this wasn't the first time Yibo's heartbeat had shown irregularities. There was a pattern of cardiac fatigue, but it had never been properly diagnosed. Yibo himself had declined further checkups. He had chosen to stay silent, to keep going, and to endure. That's where the pain began. Xiao Zhan felt crushed, not because he was to blame, but because he had never noticed. They had walked side by side, on stage, backstage, through moments unseen by the public, but he hadn't realized that someone he deeply cared for was silently suffering. He collapsed, literally. He fell to the corridor floor after reading the medical chart. A nurse tried to approach, but Xiao Zhan lifted a hand slowly, asking for space. He didn't want to be seen. He didn't want to speak. He just wanted to drown in the reality that someone who meant the world to him had come that close to disappearing. The next 48 hours became the longest of their lives. Xiao Zhan didn't leave. He slept on a waiting room chair, ate whatever was available, and declined all offers of rest. "If I sleep and something happens, I won't forgive myself," he reportedly told a staff member. He entered the ICU several times just to sit by Yibo's bedside, to hold his cold hand, to whisper words only the two of them would understand. He didn't need cameras. He didn't need attention. He only needed to know the person he cherished was still breathing. When Wang Yibo finally opened his eyes, still weak, barely conscious, he looked toward Xiao Zhan and gave a faint smile. And that alone was enough to make tears fall from his friend's face once again. News of this didn't break through official statements. Instead, it leaked online. An anonymous user on a local platform shared excerpts of Yibo's medical chart, showing a graph of a dangerously dropping heartbeat. Soon after, fans began speculating. Some said it was a mild heart attack. Others believed it was extreme physical fatigue. Whatever it was, one thing was clear: it nearly cost him his life. Comments began flooding social media. Why do they always carry the pain alone? If not for Xiao Zhan, we might never have known anything. Wang Yibo always looked strong, but who knew his body had been screaming for help? Thank you, Xiao Zhan, for never leaving his side. Hashtags like #StayAliveYibo and #JeanProtectYibo trended. Fan communities organized online prayer events and even sent flower arrangements to the hospital where Yibo was recovering. Many were stunned. Others asked, how much longer must our idols suffer in silence? Xiao Zhan has not made any public appearance since the incident, but his management released a short statement saying that he wished for fans to remain calm and focus on sending positive energy. Now, all we can do is wait. Doctors say recovery will take time. But more than just physical healing, Yibo needs peace. He doesn't just need rest. He needs support that doesn't pressure him to return before he's ready. And Xiao Zhan, he's still there, quietly, in the background, guarding him from the shadows. This isn't just a story about a celebrity's near-death experience. It's a reminder that behind the fame and flashing lights, there are fragile bodies, exhausted hearts, and friendships stronger than anything fame could create. That night may forever be remembered as the darkest in their lives. But from that darkness, a small light flickered called hope. And now, we turn to you, dear drama lovers. What did you feel after hearing all this? Do you also believe that true friendship will always find its way back, even from the edge of death? Leave your thoughts in the comments. We'll continue bringing you updates only here on K-Pop World. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next story.